we're so excited to have you here in Dallas.
Thanks.
For this movie. It's so much fun. It's so sweet.
Did you, were you able to see it?
Well, they let us see, a chunk of
Great,
it.
great.
A third of it.
Good.
And it was, it's just, it's perfect.
It's
for those
so
of us
great.
that have had kids that, grew up with the first one. Now they're kind of in their teenage years. And
Yes.
so this is what we're getting into. And so when you got this opportunity, you must have thought, oh, I got to do this, right?
Yeah, the first one was one of my favorite movies, not just animated movies. And so to be a part of this is like, I'm still trying to kind of digest it. It's, I think this movie is so brilliant that even to be a small part of it is like a huge honor. Huge honor.
And it's so much fun to watch. I'm guessing you got to see the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and fun to see just the kids light up. That's the greatest payoff, right?
It really is. And it's the brilliant thing that they do in this, because when I was a kid, you really weren't, alloud's not the right word, but it wasn't a lot of talk about feeling your feelings. And here, the whole idea of seeing them that they're trying to help you and have compassion for your feelings. I mean, that is a message that I think every kid would really, that's a great message to send.
Yeah, and it's really timely too, because we're now in a place where people can talk about it a little bit more openly.
Totally, definitely.
Especially when we're a teenager, that would have been really good for us.
Yeah, and parents to feel like, there's this character Ennui who's like super bored all the time. And when my daughter was a teenager, even if I were to see this and be like, oh, this is a part of the process, so I don't really need to, get so mad if she's on the couch too much, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing this for so long and doing so well at it, and a lot of people look up to you and they think, no, that's what I want to do. So what kind of advice do you give to people that want to do what you do?
With voiceovers?
Yeah, or just
acting
in general?
I always like to tell people, don't look to kind of New York or LA or like however they frame making it. I think that concept of making it is really twisted. I just think wherever you are, get as much experience in front of the camera, on stage, because then that's where the joy comes from, and then you can kind of bring that into whatever comes next. But putting too much power to those big places or big time jobs, whatever, I think that's a little dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you'll like this since we're here in Dallas. My co-host, Drew Pearson, was one of our great Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, wow.
Caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. We're so proud of him. And so we got to ask you, your Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it.
Oh, wow, when I had to go for it?
Yeah.
I would say in '95, I moved to New York. I didn't know anybody. And I just kind of was like, let's try this. I think I lived on like 7 different couches in the first year. Wow. But just tried it. But I also gave myself a bit of a timeline. I was like, if I don't see some kind of something come from this in like this first year, then maybe I'll reconsider, And my first show was Shakespeare in the Parking Lot, where we did Taming of the Shrew in a parking lot in the East Village.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and part of that is that resilience that you have to have, and that success mindset. Even if you're not feeling it, you got to try and stay in it. Is there something you tell yourself that kind of keeps you on that right path?
I love to tell people that I think this business tells you that you have value when this happens. You have value if this happens. However somebody frames success in their lives, I think it's good to know that your value, your real value, is the same before and after this success. It's exact same, and that's not something that the world tells you. And a community. Always try to invest in your community before you invest in your career, because that's what's going to give you longevity.
Well said. Now, is there a particular scene I'm working on this? Because it seems like it's so much fun to work on this. Was there a particular one that you're just like, oh, this is great, people are going to love this? Gosh, there's so many. I got a big kick out of the sarcasm, where it's like this huge chasm that forms, and if you say something, it's interpreted differently. It's brilliant. Like, there's so many, and the fact that they're bottled up, in a bottle, the way we bottle up our core emotions, stuff like that. I'm reading it and just going, this stuff is like right out of a therapy book, And did you have to record your lines all by yourself, or were you with some of the cast?
No, a lot of them, and I haven't even met yet. And this weekend we're doing like another press junket, and so I'll meet. Some of them I've known, but for the most part we don't know each other because we all record separately.
Oh my goodness. Well, I know that you always have a special memory from every set. Is there something that stood out to you that you think you'll always remember about working on this one?
I think anytime I get to go to the Pixar headquarters is like pretty rockin'. It's a really special place. And the first time I saw this, it's so magical that like that's a really fun core memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last thing, we kind of touched on it, but what are you hoping that the kids and parents too, because this is for everybody. But
Yeah.
what are you hoping that they'll take away and talk about after this?
I think a big thing is that kids will feel seen.
Yeah.
You know, when puberty hits, there's a lot going on, and I know for myself, I thought I was going crazy sometimes. I was like, what's happening? And it's not just kids, it's that parents can look at it and go, oh, this is a normal part of the process, and maybe I don't need to beat them up as much or to like get angry about them or something, you know, about certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful film. We can't wait for everybody to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time
I'm
today.
so excited. I'm excited to
Thank
hear it.
you.